Hello students, hope you are doing well. So today we will just go with the concept of array in C++. So what is an array? So you can see that array is a collection of variable of similar data type. Okay, so you can say it is a collection. It is a collection of elements of similar data type. Similar data type. Okay, so a array can be considered as a data structure that stores an element of the same data type sequentially. Okay, so array stores, okay, that is very important. Array stores data in a sequential order. Okay, in a sequential order. And in C++, this array, okay, C++, this array has a fixed size. Array has a fixed size. Okay, so you can also say that it is a disadvantage that array has a fixed size. So now the important part is that why we are using an array. Okay, why do we need an array? So need for an array, need for an array, that why we are using it. Okay, what is the main use of an array? So as we know that, as you have seen in your earlier classes also in C, that arrays are very important in any programming language. Okay, either you can say in C, C++, Java, Python. So it provides a more convenient way of storing variables, okay, or a collection of data of similar data type, okay, instead of storing them separately. So it provides, you can say, it provides a convenient way of storing variables, okay, of storing variables or data of similar data type. That is very important. This similar data type word is very important. Of similar data type. Okay, so you have to focus more on this terminology, that it stores the variables or data of similar data type. Okay, instead of storing separately. So if we want to store the data separately, then it will require so much of memory. Okay, it will consume too much memory space. So instead of that, what we do, we just declare an array and it stores all the variables, okay, in the specified array. Okay, so and we can also access each element of the array. Okay, we can access each element of an array separately. So this is a very, okay, you can say it is an advantage. Okay, so also the main advantage of array is random access. We can randomly access, okay, random access of variables. Okay, so we can access randomly any variable. Okay, and okay, sorting is, okay, we can do sorting in an array and it will save our time. Okay, the code length will be, the code length is, okay, you can say decreases. Okay, because if we store variables, okay, like each variable, if we are assigning and storing, so it will take, okay, there will be so many variables, and for each variables, okay, so much of memory will be required, and and due to which you can say the code length will be, okay, increased. So there are some, okay, these are some advantages of using array. These are some major advantages. Okay, so now we will see that how to declare an array in C++. Okay, so unlike in C, we can also declare the array in the same way. Okay, so declaration of array in C++. So the first thing is we have to provide a type, okay, the data type, followed by the name of an array, name of array, and the array size. Okay, the array size. So these are the entities that we have to provide. So there are certain rules for declaring, okay, a single dimension array in C++. This type, okay, the type is the type of elements to be stored in the array, okay, and it must be a valid, this must be a valid data type, this must be a valid data type in C++. Okay, the array name is the name to be assigned to an array, okay, the name that is to be assigned to an array, and the size is the number of elements. Okay, so the size is the number of elements that are to be stored, okay, that are to be stored in an array. So it must be greater than, okay, the main condition is that this array size must be greater than 0. Okay, it must be greater than 0 and it must be an integer, it must be an integer. Okay, this must be an integer value. Okay, so these are the rules of for declaring a single dimension array. So we'll just create an array. Okay, for example, if I create something like this, int marks, okay, and this is for example 5. So if I want to store the marks of 5 students, okay, so this array what will do, okay, it will just store the 5 integers that represents the marks of different students. So this is the data type, okay, this is the valid data type. This is marks means that is the name of an array, okay, and this 5, it is the size, it is the size, and you are just seeing that it is a valid integer size of an array. Okay, so in this way we can, okay, we can declare an array. So how will initialize an array? So array initialization, this is array declaration. Okay, so how an array is initialized? Now array initialization, it is same, okay, as that of C. The same thing is being done here also. Array initialization. So here, okay, it is a process to assign or storing elements to an array. Okay, so you can say that initialization can be done in a single statement. Okay, we can just initialize either in a single statement or one by one, but we'll prefer that we'll initialize the array, okay, in a single statement, because one by one will take, okay, too much of time and it is not a good practice, okay, to store the elements one by one. So if we have an array, okay, if we have an array of size 5, so it will store like this. Okay, the starting, okay, the starting block is the index of an array, it represents the array index. Okay, this is the array index, and the array index will start from 0, okay, and it will range from 0 to n minus 1. So if we have, okay, 5 elements, then it, okay, if we have 5, the size of an array is 5, then it will be stored like this: 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So 4 blocks will be created. Okay, 0 to 4, it means there are 5 blocks. Okay, so I want to initialize. So how can we initialize? The first element will be stored at index 0 while the last element will be stored at an index 4. Okay, so if we have something like this, int marks 5, so we can initialize this like in a single statement like this, is equal to followed by curly braces. Okay, so marks can be anything: 10, 1, 20, 100, okay, and 50, let us suppose. Okay, so they can be initialized like, okay, this marks of 0, so this will be now marks 0. Okay, marks of 0, it will be 10, this will be 1, this will be 20, this will be 100, and this will be assigned as 50. Okay, so it will be stored in this question. Also what we can do, okay, if we don't want to, okay, provide the size. Okay, if you don't want to provide the size, so we can also do it like that if I write int marks, and if I just keep this size as blank, okay, I haven't specified anything here, and if I write something like that 100 comma 50 comma 75 comma 90, okay, comma 25, so the compiler knows that these are the marks, or these marks will determine the size of an array. It means that only 5 elements, okay, can be stored in this particular array, and this array will be provided a size 5. Okay, it will be provided the size 5 implicitly by the compiler. Okay, implicitly compiler will, okay, compiler will assign the size, assign the size to an array. If we don't declare it, okay, explicitly, then it is the responsibility of the compiler. It will declare the size. Okay, so this statement, okay, this statement is exactly same as the previous statement. So if I write something like this int marks, okay, 5, and if I write 100 comma 50 comma 75 comma 90 comma 25, so both these statements are same. Okay, both these statements are similar. There is no ambiguity, okay, in these statements. So now the main thing is how we will access this array. Okay, if I want to access the marks, if I want to print the marks, okay, so we can print the marks, okay, with the help of, okay, for loop. So for loop will be in picture now. Okay, so I can't, okay, print the marks like that. If I write cout marks, okay, directly, then it will result in an error. Okay, it will, okay, print something, okay, that is not relevant to us. Okay, either it can print some garbage value, or it can print the some memory address, okay, that is not relevant. So in order to access the elements of an array, for loop is required. Okay, so we'll just do like this. For, okay, we'll declare some variable I equal to 0. Okay, so this I is integer. For example, this is integer, so this is the starting index. Okay, I is less than 5. Okay, I plus, so this must be some condition to declare, okay, to use to access the elements of an array. So how can I access? I'll just write cout if I want to access the marks of all 5 marks. So I'll just write marks, this is the name of an array, and followed by the variable. Okay, so now what it will do, it will, okay, it will print the marks, okay, in the form of, okay, it will take it as an index value. Okay, so marks of 0. Okay, if I is 0, so it will take marks of 0. It will print the particular, okay, the pointer will go to that particular block, okay, that denotes marks of 0, and it will print marks of 0. Similarly, marks of 1, marks of 2, marks of 3, marks of 4, and marks of 5. So in this way, okay, so in this way, this is marks of 0. Okay, this is marks 1, and so on, and this is marks 4. Also, one thing you have to keep in mind that C++ does not, okay, do bound checking. Okay, so in C++ there is no bound checking. Okay, so it means if you try to access certain variable that is not in a particular range of an array, so your program will return some unexpected results. Okay, might be your program can be compiled, but it can result, okay, some unexpected value. It can be a garbage value. Okay, either it can be some garbage value, okay, or you can be given a segmented, okay, a segmented fault type of error. Okay, so C++ doesn't check the bounds. Okay, in C++ there is no bound checking, so you have to, okay, you have to be more cautious when you are accessing the elements within the bounds of an array. If you try to access any element that is outside the array bounds or array index, then these two errors might be there that can be visible to you. Okay, so in programming you should take more precautions. So segmentation fault is basically when the program can access some piece of memory which is not owned by it. So if you are accessing some memory, okay, that is not owned by the program, okay, so it can cause crashing of the program. And this segmented fault or segmentation fault, okay, it is segmentation fault. This is segmentation fault. Okay, so this is not segmented, this is segmentation fault will result.